Value. It is something that is so incredibly special. We are giving you the lowest price we can possibly give you for the next 6 months. But this becomes even more special because the labels, the choices that we have here truly are designed for spring. So will we have this back on in 6 months? No, we will not, because this was designed for spring. So that's
Spring
why
is
I
here.
think this is a wonderful time for you to get it. Brian Doherty is here, and he is the gentleman that brings Vintage Wine Estates to us. He's almost like our own personal sommelier that's helping me understand and you understand what wines go with what things, why this is so different. How are you, sir?
Good, good. How are you?
Happy spring.
Oh, I'm ready for spring now.
Well, you should be ready for spring because we have this wonderful relationship with Vintage Wine Estates. If you think about the bottles of wine that we have here in these assortments, and you can do an all white, an all red, or a mixed assortment, but no matter what, you're getting 12 full bottles. Each one of these bottles would retail for about $20.
That's right.
But at our 1 day only price with the shipping included, and
Delivered.
wine is heavy, I might add, that's included. It's $9.66 a bottle, but only
incredible.
until the end of the day. So within the varietals that we have, if we go for the 12 that are all mixed, you will get
That's right.
2 each of the 6 varietals.
Try 'em all.
Try them all. Or if you just know you want all whites, 4 each of these 3, or 4 each of
Right.
all the reds. So as we go through them, we have Moscato. Then after that, we have our Sauvignon Blanc.
Right.
We have the Chardonnay. You can get all those in whites if you want, or in the mixed. Then the next 3 that we have are the Pinot Noir,
Right.
the Merlot, and the Cabernet Sauvignon. You can get just those or get them all together in the
Look
mix.
at the labels. Look at
The labels were designed. You
telling
started
you.
doing this not that long ago for our last holiday
For the
season,
holidays.
So they looked beautiful as gifts.
Well, you know, so many people they may serve wine on special occasions or things like that. I mean, we think you should use it every day, but why not have the wine be a beautiful addition
Part
to
of
your
the
table?
centerpiece. It's part
the
of the
flavor
table.
always is, but why not have the bottle?
So speaking of the flavor always is, Vintage Wine Estates, you really do the work for us to help us pick the right choices, especially for the season and the types of the foods that
That's
we'll
right.
be serving this season. For Easter, we may have ham, we may have some of the fish that we're talking about in the show today. So let's start with the Moscato. So the Moscato really is the lightest and sweetest of the 3 whites, correct?
Moscato is the sweetest, and you know, it's the #1 request we get from QVC customers is to have a sweet wine. And this Moscato, the challenge with a sweet wine is always to have one that complements food, that is
Right.
delicate, that's fun, and this Moscato is just gorgeous.
I love Moscato.
Right?
I
It's got
do.
a great color. Moscato is a sign that summer is coming. How nice is that?
To
Is it?
me, this is just a summer evening all by
Honeysuckle,
itself. but-
honeysuckle sweet, not maple syrup sweet.
Right.
Just put this in an ice bucket. If you're having family and friends over for
Mm-hmm.
Easter or for Mother's Day or something like that, the Moscato is the kind of wine you can put in an ice bucket to greet the guests.
I love it.
Whenever they show up, it doesn't matter. They can have something light, sweet, fruity, just to kind of kick the event off. And
Beautiful.
the label
Is stunning with the
Stunning.
pink flower, the
Stunning.
butterfly. And it's also good, you've told me, with spicier foods to sort of balance that
well,
out.
that's the secret. I'm not supposed to, but I like the Moscato with Thai takeout.
Right?
You don't see a lot of
To balance
takeout
it?
pairings, but let me tell you, something spicy, a nice light sweet wine, perfect with it.
So if you're going for the all whites, you will get 4 of this.
That's
Then the next one that you would get,
Sauvignon Blanc.
Mm-hmm.
So now, you know, as we head into spring, right, the food is a little bit lighter. We're going to see a little more seafood. A lot of
Right.
people may eat more salads and such.
right.
So you want a lighter wine that still has some character, still has a crisp, clean flavor, and that's what our Sauvignon Blanc is. If you're having any kind of light, flaky seafood, you're having a nice light cheese or a salad or
What a
something with
lovely
goat cheese.
finish on
It's
that.
got it's crisp, clean. You feel
Beautiful.
refreshed. You're ready for the next glass or the
That's
next
right.
taste.
So
and look
a
at it,
question.
a different design.
So, and that's right, every one of the bottles of wine
Every
has
one
a
is.
different design. We have Chinook King salmon coming up later on in the
Ah.
show. Anderson Seafoods, the salmon is fresh, not frozen. Would
Beautiful.
that, which one would be the choice for
Well,
that, you
so
think?
it depends. If I was a
Okay.
white wine drinker, it depends what sauce you might put on it.
Okay.
If it's going to be simply grilled, that Sauvignon Blanc would be
Be
great.
perfect.
Lobster tails,
Okay.
right? That could be a beautiful wine. If you're a big sauce person, you like kind of a cherry sauce or a honey sauce, and you're a red drinker, you may go with our Pinot.
Ooh, which we'll get to in just a couple of minutes. So I love that we can
Not
do
to
both.
skip ahead.
That's okay. But then we also have the Chardonnay.
So Chardonnay remains one of the most popular of all the white wines. It's always one that we work very hard. You can see this is what a California Chardonnay is supposed to look like, right? It's got to be, it marries well with, a turkey, right? You guys had turkey earlier.
We did, first up in the show.
It's a fabulous wine for turkey. It's a fabulous kind of all-around wine. It has a little more body to it than the Sauvignon Blanc, yet it doesn't fight the food. Crisp, clean. A lot of people like Chardonnay on their own.
Right. It's a slightly bigger wine than the Sauvignon Blanc that we just talked about.
And again, it has just a gorgeous
love it. I mean, the
label.
labels are stunning to give as a gift instead in lieu of the flowers that many times you bring for the holiday if you know they drink wine. So I want to remind you, if you get all whites, like we just talked about, you will get all of these. 4 bottles in each of these 3 varietals that we talked about. If you go for the set of 12 and you're getting the mixed, you will get 2 of each of these bottles, and you will add that to the 2 of each of these 3 bottles of reds that we have right here. So we'll begin with the reds with the Pinot Noir.
So Pinot, this is one of my favorite wines, and Pinot is the lightest of all the reds, so that's why it's a great crossover. You can see it right in the color. It's a lighter, think of it more as a cherry color than a dark fruit. And Pinot has a little earthiness to it.
Ooh.
So it pairs well with food. It's a good wine for folks that are crossing over, that have been white wine drinkers. They want to try a red.
Because it's not the big gun of what we have coming up, like the Cabernet. But to your point, I would love to serve this with fish, like we were talking about earlier.
It'd be great.
It's a nice crossover.
Or, a chicken that you put a red sauce on or something like that. But we're heading into spring. Mother's Day is coming up, Easter, you have all these different flavors.
And look at the artwork. I mean, the artwork on all of the labels is individual and it's beautiful. And I want to remind you of the price before we get into the last 2 varietals. It is a 1-day only price. This was designed for us for the springtime. If you want it, as a reminder, we ship directly to 40 states, including Pennsylvania. Your shipping is included. So this is delivered to your home for $116. And when you get that box of wine, do not kid yourself, it's heavy. How we are able to do that at this value is incredible, but that's why it's only for 1 day. The price expires at the end of the day, not to be lower for a whole 6 months, but you will not see this in 6 months because we'll have different varietals for fall, and the artwork would be different as well. So this is a great time to jump in, especially with the 5 easy payments of $23.20 a month.
It's
so
just
next,
in time.
We go for our Merlot.
Merlot. So Merlot is kind of the medium body of the red wines. It's a great kind of all-purpose red wine. It's a little bit darker than the Pinot was, and it goes, I always tell people, think of Merlot, think of red sauce. Anything you're going to put red sauce on. Right? You're going to have a lasagna, you're going to have a pasta, or you're going to have a chicken, right, with barbecue sauce on it.
Oh, like the Mama Mancini's meatballs that we have. This would be perfect.
Or pizza, right? So the beauty of this, a lot of people think of wine for special occasions.
Okay.
But the reality is at this kind of value, you can make any weeknight meal a special meal by opening one of these wines because they're such a great deal.
You are so right about that, because when I taste every one of these, I am tasting a $20 bottle of wine, but I'm not spending $20 per bottle when you break down the price with the shipping included. All of the work done for you, not standing at the store going, I think they might kind of like this.
Good.
I don't know how this brand compares to this brand. Was that a good year? I don't know. This has all been done for you, and it's still only $9.66 a bottle with your shipping included in that price. So take a look at the map on QVC.com to see if we ship to the state that you want to ship to. We do include Pennsylvania, 40 full states. And then last but not least, we have the Cabernet.
Definitely not least. So now we're heading, it's a little bit warmer out. Maybe you're starting to break your grill out. And so Cabernet Sauvignon, it's kind of the big gun of the reds. This is for all your red meat. Anything you're going to cook on the grill, anything with that big, bold taste. Could be a sirloin steak, a filet. But I'll tell you, at this price, it makes a Wednesday night hamburger just an absolute home run.
That
absolute
has
home run.
A great finish to it.
Isn't that
Here's
great?
the other thing, too. when you serve your white wine, something that I have learned from
Yeah.
Brian is that many times people chill it a little too much. You
Little
only
too
need
cold,
to put it in the fridge for about a half an hour beforehand.
That's
You
right.
don't need to over chill it. What do we do about the reds? How should we serve those?
The red's just a little bit less than room temperature. So as it gets warmer out, just be a little conscious. You don't want them to be
Okay.
75, 80 degrees. Just you throw them in the fridge for just a few minutes.
5 minutes.
Right?
And we're good.
But this is also, look at the label on the Cabernet.
Beautiful.
Just another great artist label. Think about it if you're bringing a gift. You're going over to someone's house for a housewarming, for a dinner, you're going to the book club. You know, I can't wrap anything.
This is
right?
essentially all done for
So
you.
this is done for you. How nice is that to put on somebody's table or as a
Beautiful.
thank you gift or whatever? All the
Pretty
work
they
has
are.
been done for you.
So your choices are, just before I invite my good friend Dan Wheeler in, your choices are, what you're seeing in the front is the mixed. So
Yeah.
in the mixed, you will get 2 each of the Moscato, the Sauvignon Blanc, the Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Merlot, and the Cabernet Sauvignon. So you get 2 of everything we
all.
just talked about. If you know you only want to have white wines in the house, you will get 4 each of Moscato, Sauvignon Blanc, and Chardonnay. If you go for the all reds, 4 each of the Merlot, the Pinot Noir, and the Cabernet Sauvignon. You may have the option of doing this on auto delivery
That's
as
it.
well. So that's why I wanted to bring up the auto delivery. This price is expiring at the end of the
Yeah.
day.
Lock
You
it
will
in.
not, you should lock it in, exactly, because in 5 months, there is only 1 future shipment, but in 5 months, you will get another shipment. I believe the labels will
Yes.
also be different for the future
No,
shipment.
they'll be the
in fall.
same.
Oh, they will
They'll
be the same in fall.
You're in
Okay.
summer, you'll still get the
End of
flowers. Yep. Yep.
So you'll be beautifully